Welcome to the night where the games come alive. Hosted by the Garage Gamer, we're here to thrive. With Chris from Jack's Media Grounds giving us the scoop, and Dathan the Professor keeping us in the loop. Late Night Live, where the passions collide. From video games to movies on this thrilling ride. With Eric the Doc and Talk Boss leading the way. And Travis the physical medium man, shining bright every day. Talking sports and more, we got stories to share. From retro games to the latest, we're always prepared. With laughter and debates, it's a wild fun spree. Late Night Live, the place where you wanna be. Late Night Live, where the passions collide. From video games to movies on this thrilling ride. With Eric the Doc and Talk Boss leading the way. And Travis the physical medium man, shining bright every day. Stay tuned, don't blink, you won't wanna miss every game, every movie, every sporting twist. Late Night Live, we're here to entertain with the Garage Gamer and the crew bringing the game. Late Night Live, where the passions collide. From video games to movies on this thrilling ride. With Eric the Doc and Talk Boss leading the way. And Travis the physical medium man, shining bright every day. So join us on this journey as we chat and play. Late Night Live, every night we light the way. With our hosts and friends, the fun never ends. On Late Night Live, where every gamer's dream begins. Welcome to the night where the games come.
What up, everybody? Oh, that's not the right one. I wanted that one. I had the,
Super chatting already.
yeah.
Hit the ground running.
All right.
Oh, man. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Late Night Live, episode 50. Somehow we made it to 50 episodes, which I can't believe, but I guess that's going the whole year pretty much every night. We're missing a couple people tonight. Eric's at a band concert, a rock concert or something. Something to do with thieves, Travis. I'm not exactly sure. He said.
I haven't heard of the band. I just know that Eric loves thieves.
Right.
That's what he's all about. And last time he was here, I did notice something was missing the next day.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think I know who it was.
Okay, well...
Watch your stuff when Eric is around. Yeah.
Uh-oh, all right.
It's better just to give him stuff ahead of time, and that way you don't have to worry about it. That way you know that it's gone.
Yeah, there you go. Something about this guy who always wanted to be a thief.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
So Jack's Media Ground as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chris
is not going to be here. He is out sick. So, yeah, out here, I think pretty much everyone's been sick. So, it's been going around whether you got a runny nose, sore throat, nasal pain, and like I had like one side of my face just felt like there was an ice pick in it.
Yikes.
Yeah. Oh, is that what? Oh, yeah. Show off your shirt.
Oh, the Die Hard sweater. I told you. There we go.
Wait.
Yeah, it's kind of reversed.
I'm gonna add. I'm just gonna add this right now.
Oh yeah.
Whenever
you got
he brings
a banner
it
now. Breaking news.
Breaking news, dude.
That's your breaking news banner.
You guys remember back in the day? Do you guys remember back in the day when we had to find out when school was canceled? We had to watch like the sports.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Right.
Looking back on how dumb I was back then, you would like wake up early to find out if school was canceled.
Oh yeah.
So you didn't have to get
horrible.
The bus. Just sleep in. Every last minute, your parents would have told you, get out of bed.
Yeah.
I think now it's like it just goes right to your phone. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, you'd have to watch the news
or and to the radio.
Well, the worst actually, so my wife is a teacher, and so the issue is that the teachers notify each other. It's like a game of telephone. So she gets a call at like 4 in the morning as they're starting to decide. And then it goes to like five, I think. And then, yeah, I think like five or so is the official, like, tell everybody sort of thing. And they take turns with that whole thing. So I still get woken up early because of it.
Now I get notified. Everything's automated now with
Yeah.
the kids. Now, like I get notifications now when they do a fire drill. That's
Yes.
how. So anyway, what's he saying? We watched all night long. What are you talking about? Oh, the show.
Susanna Hoffs movie? No, that was the all nighter.
Anyway, back to gaming. Let's start with that. 8-bit gaming legend. Did you play any video games last week, sir?
I did. I finished Astrobot on
Nice.
Wednesday. Not platinum, just the main thing. I think I still have 100 bots to go through.
Cool.
We'll see if I decide to go through that or not.
What'd you think?
It was fantastic. It was a great game. Really enjoyed it. Controls were fluid. I can see why I got Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It was just fun. What else did I play?
Did you play the Christmas level yet?
Just a little bit. I think something came up. I think I got like 3 of the gold presents and I had to stop. So it was just a second. I didn't get a whole lot.
You got to do it.
I did get the costume though, where you right from the get go.
Did you unlock the Spider-Man that were in it?
No, I haven't got that far yet.
Okay, you got to do that.
No, haven't got that far.
Yeah, both Spider-Man are finally in Astrobot.
And then what else did I play? Was that might have been it? Just that. I've been trying to get my PS5 Pro set up and all that stuff going because transferring the content and all that stuff, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, but installing the disk drive was pretty easy. FYI, if you have a Pro and you have a disk drive, it's easy to install. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Did watch the Sonic 3 movie. That is kind of game related a little bit. Yes and no.
Yeah, I want to talk about that tonight.
Game related, yeah.
Talk about that. And on a side note, I am kind of going back to some Marvel comics, like some of the older stuff. So I'm rereading the Secret Wars series from a while back because I think I only went through 3 issues back then.
Yeah.
So I'm redoing that all over again.
Secret Wars 1, not 2, right?
Yeah.
There's actually Secret Wars 2.
Yeah,
which is the bad version.
Yeah, it's the OG 12-issue series with I think issue 7 gets the black suit Spider-Man, the first one.
He gets it in 8
or 8.
You.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Nice. Meatball Saucy's here. I played three or 4 games last week. 1,630 play sessions takes work. Yeah, you got some Steam play on your computer, man. Good job. Saiyan Spirits started Astrobot too. Thanks for joining the show tonight.
Nice.
But yeah, some of your guys' achievements on we've been looking at in the Discord, and if you guys aren't already, join the Discord. We've been posting our play stats, and like Meatball Saucy has got like some crazy numbers on Steam, and I've got like 20 play sessions. I don't know. It's not good.
I'm kind of the same way. I think I have less than that. I think I have 5. I think something like that. I don't play the Steam Deck very much.
But Travis just does some PC gaming. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm just looking now. I didn't actually look. I did.
You're gonna have to pull up your stats. Yeah.
19 games played. 7 new games, I guess. 1 demo. Which is 20 games fewer than last year, which surprises me. But it must be.
You're on the decline.
It must be because, well, I played through Valhalla, the God of War, Dragon Age Veilguard. So I mean, each of those games, if you're focused on them, they take about a month if you're really playing them. At least for me. right? Because I get about 3 to 4 hours of gaming a day, and yeah, it takes I take my time, I guess, when it comes to the games. I don't plot point it. Yeah, so but I did play Indiana Jones. I got that. And hot take, I returned it.
What?
Yeah.
belongs in a museum.
I know.
Wait,
I know.
you returned what?
Indiana Jones, the new Indiana Jones game. I
Okay.
returned it.
Okay.
So
belongs in a museum.
when it comes to the PC, I expect more out of it, and it's a little buggy right now. And I had
That's
two other
fair.
games in my backlog to deal with it. So the game bug that bothered me is I usually game in
Wait.
greater
What?
than
How do you return a PC game?
You just tell Steam I'm done with this.
You
What?
have a window. You have a window,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you have
That
like 2
belongs
hours
in
of
a museum.
gameplay, which I
Yeah.
think I've gotten them to actually accept beyond that in 2 weeks.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so that's one of the first things I do when I play a game is I try to see how buggy of a mess it is. And when it came to Indiana Jones, 2 of the issues are it doesn't play well with a gaming laptop that uses a integrated GPU as well as an additional. So my gaming laptop has the system on a chip GPU that it uses the majority of the Windows use. Then it flips to the 4090 GPU when it detects a game. The Indiana Jones game, for some reason, when it's trying to flip between the two, it will often just go to a black screen and you'll hear audio and that's it. So you've got to reconfigure your PC to always use the GPU, which I find a pain in the butt, but that's a workaround. So anyway, really what was the killer for me is when I'm gaming, I game above 60 frames per second, somewhere around like the 120 range is what the laptop can do with the 4090, which is very impressive for a laptop. That game, though, the minute you get to a cutscene, jarringly switches to 60 frames per second. Now, a cutscene includes Indy moving vines out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's constant. You're running. Everything looks great. 120 frames per second, then boom, pause, drop, move vines, talk to somebody, back to action. They need to fix that.
That belongs in a museum.
Now, I have no problem if a game sticks to 60 because that's what it's capped at. I mean, I still have a problem with it, but I accept it. Elden Ring was that way.
Yeah.
But when it goes
Okay.
from an uncapped frame rate to a lock at 60 due to in-game cinematics, I find that inexcusable. So I refunded it based off that. Now,
Wow.
when my backlog clears a little bit, then I'll probably just buy it. And hopefully they'll have patched it by then. Because clearly that was a holdover from, I'm guessing, what they expected Xbox console frame rate to be capable of. And they just didn't count on the fact that PC would be able to get past that consistently, which it can. So I also saw that there were some complaints though in the PC world that it forces ray tracing because some PC rigs that it advertises working with can't work well with ray tracing enabled.
Interesting.
I humble brag, I don't have that issue. So I didn't see it straight up. As a matter of fact, the game ran really well with everything maxed out, but with DLSS on and frame generation on. So the little shortcuts of the upscaling and then sandwiching frames in between.
Yeah.
But it looked good except for the 60 frame per second jump. So once they fix that, then I'll go back in. Oh, it also didn't work with the DualSense controller, even though it does. So you've got to unplug it, plug it back in, and then haptic feedback on the DualSense controller doesn't work, which I also thought was stupid since they include DualSense support.
They got to be
get
doing
patched.
something with that when, I mean, the game's coming to PlayStation next year.
Yeah.
So
So that's
There's
why
gonna be an update.
I figure all of these things will be patched. I did see that it got a patch on PC a couple days ago, but the overwhelming feedback on that was pretty negative. So it sounds like the patch broke some stuff. Hey, I'm just keeping it real since, not everybody games on PC. If there are listeners who do, they kind of know what they're getting into. Because the games, if none of that matters to you, then rock on. It looked good. The voice acting was good. From what I played, it was fun. Albeit I played under 2 hours. So, take that review with a grain of salt. But, but I do, when I get a game, the first thing I look at is what kind of quality is it at? right now. So a lot of people kind of look past that stuff. I tend to not, because I've got a backlog plenty deep. So I slipped right back into God of War Valhalla, and that's what I've been doing, is that, as Dathan summarized it well, roguelite, sort of expansion. And I'm at the final battle, but I need to go level up, and then that's where like it's kind of getting a little old.
Mm-hmm.
Just running the exact same thing, which is so funny because it's hypocritical of me, because at the end of the day, any game like Diablo, any of these games that are action RPGs, they're very much the same. You're just plowing through enemies, leveling up to get back to the enemy you couldn't get past. But for some reason, it seems lazy to me that it's just the same 10 rooms over and over and over again. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but for some reason my patience runs thin with it. But I'll beat it, and I'll probably beat it either tonight or tomorrow, because it's not that difficult. So
Okay. No, that's good feedback. They probably haven't optimized it exactly for PC yet. So, and I'll just say, I played it on the Xbox. I thought it was phenomenal. So, and I beat if you guys didn't hear. So,
nice.
I think I'm at 30 hours. I didn't realize, I was watching video earlier today. I guess you get a lighter later on in the game, and there's Nazi propaganda that's on the walls. If you take your lighter and you burn it, you get experience points for that. So whenever you see Nazi stuff, you can burn it. Like, nice. Whoa, that's really cool. Like,
yeah, I am looking
cool
for
things like that.
I am looking forward to them fixing it. I just, it's one of those things, like I said, everybody's got a backlog, right? Like, I'm sure all of you guys do, where it's like, and you're just like, well, I'll get to that at some point. And so that's why I threw it back. And then who knows, if it's like Ubisoft, then maybe it'll be on sale in a couple days.
Yeah, maybe. Or really cheap if you're Ubisoft.
Yeah. Get it for $5.
Let's see. What have I been playing? Alien Rogue Incursion VR for PlayStation 5.
Check.
Let's see if I can go into that. I took some video. So I took some. I got some trophies today. I don't want to share these.
Why'd you unload my rifle?
Proper firearm safety is important when the
That's everything. Ready to roll.
So you go through the tutorial and you learn how to
stay safe out there.
Rig your gun. And one of the trophies
you're using snap turning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first trophies you get, if you shoot your android, you get a trophy. So I was like, all right, do it. And let's see. Wait. I had it so I was messing. There's new settings in here. I don't know why it's so simple right now. Okay, and that's the second trophy I found. So to get your health back, you get these IVs or whatever, and it's a needle comes out in VR. And normally you stab yourself or whatever. If you stab your head, you get a trophy.
Huh.
So your head or your hand?
Your head.
Like you just jab it?
You jab it into your head. That's pretty cool. So let's see, where am I here? Okay. There's a lot of aliens, and basically you gotta try to stay alive as long as possible. You've got a sidearm gun. There's so many different ways you can die too. Apparently there's a trophy right at that last second there, and he's looking at you. If you pull out your gun then and shoot him, you get a trophy. So I need to do that.
But the game is a survival-based sort of thing, and is it just, are you inevitably going to die, or is there an actual in-game way to beat it?
Well, I think there's a story. So you crash land on this planet with your robot. Maybe I need to
So it's
turn
not
down-
just an experience, in other words, because sometimes the VR stuff
Right.
can be just experiences as opposed to actual games like Alex was, right?
Right. No, you're moving from room to room.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they put a lot of work into the production value, so it's got to, yeah.
At this part right here, like I lost all my ammo, and I'm trying to like figure out. Half the battle is just trying to figure out what to do what. But like I was trying to figure out, can I beat the alien with my hand? And no, you cannot.
Huh.
You got me right there too. So the opening of the game, it's got a really cool title sequence. It's almost like you're in a planetarium where it's completely black and you're in space. So it feels like you're floating in space and there's stars everywhere. And then the alien logo slowly comes out like it did in the original movie, like the letters really slowly.
Yeah.
And that's how it starts. Like
Stuff
I
is
can't
cool.
make good video of that, but like in VR, that's pretty cool. Like I really enjoyed that opening. And then you're into it, and you're on a ship, and then you crash land. You look to your left, and your AI robot is right there with you, and then you start going at it. So, game's only $40, which I think that's a good price for 2024, and it's the first VR game I think I've played this whole year. So, we'll see how it goes. But I think I'm 2 hours into it, maybe an hour and a half. Oh, but if you have
Very
any
cool.
questions for me, yeah, I'll. I think that was the only game I really played this week. But today, if you have any questions about that game, let me know. I got some video about Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, talking about his plans for Xbox. Mark Cerny talking about PlayStation 5 Pro. I got Stern is putting some of their tables in the vault, the Stern Vault. If you guys want to talk about that. And then Adam on Twitter wants me to talk about Sega is considering a Netflix game subscription service. And I don't know if you guys are Elder Scrolls Oblivion fans, but it looks like there's a remake that could be revealed next month. Rumorville here, but that sounds kind of legit to me. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Or you can talk about something else. I don't want to talk about drama in the home arcade community either. They're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about that video, but I won't. That'll be for off-camera type thing.
Well, it's like, I don't know. People need to grow up. And, yeah. That's all you got to... If that's the stuff you want to talk about...
I don't know if there was something directed towards us as a whole, as you.
Someone in the comments, I made the mistake of commenting this is like nonsense, and then this guy started coming after me.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I lost it, and like I had to make a video.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stern Vault. Basically,
let's talk about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the list that they're going to be within 2 years. I think it is.
I thought they were just shutting it down now.
Oh, I thought it was within 2 years.
Oh, maybe you might be right.
I mean, I don't know if they'll make they might make new ones for like home people who buy them. Maybe it's like a made to order type thing, but I thought it was 2 years. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but let's see here. So we got Deadpool. Yeah, we don't play Deadpool that much.
No.
Foo Fighters, I think that's a good one. That's interesting. They're going to shut down production of Foo Fighters because I think that's maybe the people that have already bought Foo Fighters don't want want anymore. I gotta think these are ones that maybe aren't selling as well for them right now.
I'm kind of surprised that maybe it's just me. It's preference, but the Avengers Infinity Quest that's a fantastic game. I absolutely love that one.
Okay,
So I was kind of shocked that one was part of the lineup.
that's definitely one of their older ones though, like a couple years old, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Iron Maiden, I know, is a little older. There's Star Wars ones.
Star Wars has been out for almost 3 years, I think. 3
Yeah,
or 4.
and then Elvira's in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool is good. 3-year-old, but good. It's an oldie, but a goodie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Like
going to
all
make
of
more
us.
room for some new stuff for 2025.
Exactly. So we got to.
Yeah.
What else are they going to do next year? I have no idea.
know.
It should be fun.
I mean, I would be down for a Die Hard trilogy.
Well, how did I know you were going to say that?
You know, I would love a more updated Transformers one, because the Transformers one they made in 2013 or 2014, it was boring. There was hardly anything to it. It wasn't very fun. Little plastic figures in there weren't very. I mean, it was just kind of bland. So I wouldn't mind. Obviously, that's preference.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind definitely seeing one of those. Or I would even love to see they bring back from the vault Lord of the Rings and incorporate some new of the technology that they have with the app and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if they have a lot of Marvel stuff. I wonder if they would do anything with DC and like do a Superman one.
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, they have the Batman.
But it's not insider connected, so it's
No.
It would have been a couple years old.
Yeah, that
Older.
It came out. The Batman came out in 2008 because they came out around the same time as Iron Man.
They could probably do a new Batman. That would probably do really well.
Yeah.
Well, that I know it. The Batman 66 is the one you're talking about, right?
No, they did like CERN did like they had the crane. Remember how the crane that would go back and forth in the upper right corner and the scarecrow?
Oh, I don't know if I ever played that one.
Yeah, that was I think it was I forgot what movie it was kind of based on, but they had like the scarecrow and the center ramp had the Batmobile and obviously
Meatball.
next level has it, of course.
Meatball Saucy says, "Have you guys seen the virtual pinball Die Hard?"
No, I haven't.
So
you have to show that on a video so that I can see that.
Exactly. Put that on your next video stream, man.
Yes.
Everyone go subscribe to Meatball Saucy. He did a really cool virtual pinball playthrough on one of his machines, and he had like 3 cameras working at the same time. It looked really good, and he had chat going. So good job, man. Let's see. Should we talk about
the
Xbox
love for
here?
gaming? If I think about it,
Sure.
right, we
Here's
chose
Satya
the
Nadella.
secular growth category in entertainment, which we think is gaming, and said, let's double down on it. And it's been a passion for Microsoft ever since. In fact, I think Flight Simulator launched before Windows or Office even. And so it's like one of the longest franchises in this company. And so we said, let's take that joy of gaming everywhere, and that's why even these ads with Xbox now, where we are redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan, it's about being able to enjoy Xbox on all your devices. So our strategy with Activision content now is in full force. We feel fantastic about the progress we've made, and more importantly, I think on long term, as a company, we can bring the best of AI innovation, cloud innovation, console innovation, PC innovation to build the best games that can be enjoyed by.
I love how he's like just playing into that CEO Bill Gates stereotype here with just like it's kind of black kind of sweater vest on, or I don't know what it's just like I feel like he's that. I don't know if you guys have seen Jurassic World Dominion. That the CEO in that movie is like nailed it. Like I don't
Mhm.
know, but yeah, him talking about Xbox that they're this is their new strategy going forward. That everything is Xbox, and I think we've been talking about it for a couple months now, but maybe we'll see more interesting things in the upcoming year from them um, to that front. And I know they're excited to have Activision completely under their banner. Yeah, he wants his $70 billion back. You got to make up. You know, if you do an investment like that, you gotta cash in for sure. There was that one report. You know, I should have shared it earlier, or I should have pulled it up here. That this one video game analyst believes, besides Nintendo, there might be, instead of two other consoles, there might be just only one. And is that going to be PlayStation, or is that going to be Xbox, or is that going to be somebody else entirely, like Steam?
Well, I mean, it wasn't that way for forever, right? Because we had Nintendo, Sega, and Sony. So
I
I
think
guess it's always kind of been three consecutively, right?
then one year we had four. We had
Yeah.
Sega, Microsoft. One year, Sega, Microsoft, Nintendo, and
And
Xbox.
Sony and
Yeah,
Sony, because you had what? It's because the Dreamcast came out in '99,
yeah.
and you still had the PlayStation One still going strong. Well, not going strong, but it was still towards the end of its life, but it was still there
Right.
because the PlayStation 2 came out in November of 2000.
Yeah.
So you still had four, and I think the Dreamcast ceased operation, I think, in 2001, when you could go buy boxes of them for $7.
You could burn discs on
Yeah.
your PC. That's
I
when
think
they
I
Go
think that
ahead.
there's room for three for sure, but I guess the differences between then and now is that PC and Mac gaming, I'm going to go ahead and separate the two, just Windows versus Mac OS, is a lot bigger and easier to get than it was back then. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like even back like when we think about like when the Pentium PCs were kind of, able to play games that were as good or better than what the consoles offered at the time, it still was a mess of messing with drivers, negotiating settings, figuring out whether the game was processor limited or GPU limited, and all of that stuff. Now, with the NVIDIA application and the way that they've done it, it's just one click to optimize it for your PC and then hop in and you're ready to go. So I think that in a way, the PC market is probably taking and cannibalizing a bit of what existed and maybe what's there for Xbox. Because I
Yeah.
don't, I had an Xbox up until I decided that my PC was just as little work to game on and actually fit my family a little bit better because I can game in rooms that they're not. Whereas with the Xbox, I monopolize the TV. So I think that in a way, Microsoft lost the sale because of me, right?
That belongs in a
So-
museum.
Yeah, so I kind of think that maybe that's our third console nowadays. You know?
Or
would
I
be.
keep losing my train of thought.
Uh-oh.
Were you going to say something, Dathan?
Well, I'm just kind of curious. Like, obviously, I don't think Nintendo's probably not ever going to not have a console at some point.
Right.
Whether that's a handheld or a Switch type, something like that. Same thing with Sony. I think there's going to be PlayStations for a while, and also the same thing in handheld. But I think if there is going to be two standing console wise, it's going to be Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft's already kind of almost got like one foot out the door in a sense when they're saying, "Hey, this toaster is an Xbox,"
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
The other thing is Microsoft has more money than Sony and Nintendo. So I'd say if they want to do it, they can. They like, but are they going to? So
Now, I would address Meatball's talk about macOS is not really a gaming platform. I agree. I threw it in there only because of the popularity of me seeing people in coffee shops with Apples that are actually playing casual games. And so I think that, I mean, actually, Baldur's Gate 3, I beat that on my Mac. I actually didn't play that on my PC gaming machine. Oddly enough, right? I had a very capable PC of doing it, but it ran really surprisingly well on Mac OS. And it was comfortable to just be able to fire that game up wherever I was. That's actually what led me to get a Windows-based gaming laptop and move away from my desktop, was the experience on the Mac OS, oddly enough. Apple only cares once every 3 or 4 years. Like the example would be Baldur's Gate 3, where they do this big release of, hey, we're going to become a gaming OS. Just wait. And they announce one game, and that game comes out and works wonderfully. And then it goes silent for forever. So, yeah, it's interesting. But yes, I partially agree with you, Meatball. Like 80%.
hey, Steps Gaming is in the chat. What's going on, Steps? And
Hello,
Samantha is
Steps.
here. Good to
And
see
Samantha,
you.
hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Microsoft Meatball Sauce. He says Microsoft doesn't need a console. Maybe they don't.
Pretty much what I said. I 100% agree.
Meatball Saucy just copies everything he says and puts it in the chat. So that's all he's doing. We're on to you.
Now, would you think, Dathan, that when Microsoft first came out with the Xbox, I felt like it was an American console,
Okay.
and that was its position. It was as opposed to Japanese focused games and foreign games being brought to a US market, they tailored more of like, we're going to get American studios to make games that tell a story the way that Americans are used to hearing and seeing.
Okay.
And I felt like that was the strong suit. I felt like that's where Microsoft was trying to put the Xbox. And I felt like that's where its competitive edge was. But now that I've been playing all these Sony games, they're not like the Final Fantasies of old and whatever the old like janky English translation game were that I played at my friends' houses with PlayStation, but before that, Sega and Nintendo. So it feels like that ask from the market is not there anymore, even. Like Sony goes to anybody to make games nowadays. It's not just Japanese developers or anything like that, right? Because I'll be honest, the games that I played, like Metal Gear and who's that game designer or designer, the guy that's super famous.
Oh,
yeah.
He made Death Stranding. Yeah, so like I own Death Stranding.
Hideo
Kojima.
Kojima. Right. Yeah.
So when I played his games back in the day, they storytelling wise and English translation wise felt super janky to me. Like they just never were attractive to me because of that, because of the way that the dialogue was.
Yeah, I think you are right for sure when it comes to the original Xbox. Because when the original Xbox came out, their big property was Halo for the most part. And then they kind of spawned off onto other
Dragon Age, right? Was
Dragon
Xbox.
Age. Sports titles for regular Xbox. There were some, but I don't think they were really that great. I mean, the racing games on Xbox.
The racing games, Project Gotham Racing was cool.
Need for Speed Underground 2 was probably my favorite racing games of all time.
Interesting.
But I definitely think that when you were talking about when Xbox was released, the OG Xbox, is that they're kind of shifting towards that, like kind of the American style. This how games are viewed over here. I think that's kind of what they were kind of looking at.
Okay. So it wasn't just me in my head.
No,
it was just you.
Yeah, well, even the controller being super bulky though, right? And not being a
controller.
felt.
The controller was bulky for like a year, and then they made a smaller one.
They did, but I mean, it was enough for them to kind of say like, this is for big meaty hands. Like this is a muscle type controller.
And I brought this up before in previous streams is that the Dreamcast controller was just as bulky.
Just as big and bulky.
The
Yeah.
Dreamcast one was
it
really
the same
weird.
thing.
Samantha says Xbox has always been ahead of the times, and that seemed to hurt them in the long run. Xbox 360 is my favorite of them, all even with the red ring mess. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Sam, we know you're not an Xbox fan, so you don't have to hide that. but no, Meatball, you're crazy. Or wait. Where are you here? Here we go. Does anyone else in the chat have more than 250 PlayStations in 2024 on Steam? Yeah, you're a weirdo. But yeah, Samantha says Need for Speed Most Wanted on Xbox 360 is great.
I think the OG Xbox definitely implemented some great features moving forward. I loved how you could obviously upload your own CDs, your own soundtrack, and you could actually play racing games.
Oh, I love doing that.
That was always fun.
Ripping CDs. Yeah.
But one thing that always kind of was weird to me is that the blocks of memory never went below 50,000. It was always 50,000 blocks of memory, like you just skated. You could upload 50 movies on there and 10,000 songs. It was always 50,000 blocks of memory. That was it never went down. I always wondered why that is. So
I
don't know.
think I got 477 sessions, it says.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Over 13 games. And most of my playtime, 95%, was with the controller. Which, yeah, unless it was something random, right?
So it's like you're a hybrid PC gamer because you got that controller.
Yeah, I don't do keyboard mouse anymore. As a matter of fact, if a game exclusively uses keyboard and mouse, I am probably not going to get it. Unless it's like super like Slay the Princess, where it was just a choose your own adventure thing. No, and I switched from Xbox controller now to just DualSense. So if a game doesn't support DualSense, there's a chance I'm not going to get it. And that's so shocking to me. Yeah, because I hated the PlayStation.
You're really controversial tonight.
That is what it is.
Oh, okay.
I speak my truth. But yeah, now granted, I guarantee you guys have as much or more PlayStation play sessions than me. Probably as much, I'm guessing, because I only play on Steam. Right? Aside from the little bit that I do in Quest, it's like that's not really a fair comparison. You'd have to tally up all your Xbox, all your Sony stuff.
Well, you didn't don't you have a Nintendo Switch though?
Yeah, but that
so
I only played all of
it on.
But I only played the Mario Championships with you guys for a couple weeks.
Okay.
Other than that, it's my kids. So no, it's basically just Steam. That's all I got.
This is Travis's truth.
Yeah, there's no S after the apostrophe though.
Travis's. Samantha says, "I wonder if Xbox would have done better if had released first instead of PlayStation 2, since everyone bought it primarily for the DVD player." Yeah, it probably would have.
Mm-hmm. You want to hear another hot take? I actually bought the HD DVD add-on for the Xbox.
Oh, so did I.
Yeah, did you too?
It's back there. It's sitting back there.
You have it as well?
Yeah,
so we're like the only 3 people
box
that bought it.
It came with King Kong on HD DVD.
That's right. Yep.
Oh yeah. No, I was totally hoping Blu-ray was going to fail. I wanted HD.
Why?
Because I had the Xbox 360 HD DVD player.
No, but you also had a PlayStation, right?
I didn't get. I had a PlayStation 2 later, and there I got it. I lived with this roommate. Yeah, and our house got robbed.
Oh,
it
no.
It was a whole thing, and they stole my PlayStation 2.
So all you had was the HD DVD hanging on.
Yeah. But somehow I think I still have that Xbox 360 with the HD DVD player.
Yeah.
And I don't have any of the movies anymore. I got rid of those. But I had some cool ones. Like I had the Superman movie in HD DVD. I had Oh God, yeah, I think I had Godzilla.
Yeah. I had I think the one that I had that was good was The Illusionist, or some movie that was a magician movie back then.
Yeah.
And it was actually
This
like a
right
good
here.
movie.
You got it right.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Samantha says I have the HD DVD player. Got it later on with King Kong.
Okay.
This was recently.
This was recently. I'm sorry, Samantha, but I think you kind of are a little
Samantha's
late
like
to the
going
party
to
on
like
that one.
garage sales every weekend, and
Gotcha. Just taking the stuff.
yeah, I think the HD DVD was actually better minus the storage capacity.
Yeah, it was. Technically, it was better than Blu-ray.
So I
Steps,
ended up
Steps
getting
want to
I
talk
ended up
about that
getting
too.
this because of when Transformers came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Michael Bay said something. It was the Blu-ray HD DVD controversy,
Yep.
the verses between the two, and something happened with Blu-ray, and Michael Bay said, "I am not going to put my movies on Blu-ray. They're only going to go to HD DVD." Within 5 minutes, I was already on my way to GameStop to buy the HD DVD player, waiting for Transformers to come out on HD DVD, and then a few months later, Michael Bay is like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to come out one."
Yeah, well, because yeah, so he said, I want people to see my movies in the best formats possible.
He didn't get enough sales on the other one, is what it meant.
Well, the studio, I guess, forced him to. So I guess he actually did try sticking to his guns on that. And the studio was like, we own this, so thanks. But yeah, you can shut up now. And so then, yeah, he basically told people, like, the studio's forcing me. I don't want it on this. So weird.
We're giving you guys a history lesson tonight.
Doesn't he make, like, I mean, I haven't seen a lot of his films, so isn't he known for just making kind of schlock pulp that isn't very good?
The Transformers, yeah.
No, I mean all of his movies, right? Like, isn't that just kind of what he's known for? Is just
all of his movies are required to have the biggest explosions in the history of
so it is good for special effects and things like that. That's the fun, like summertime popcorn movies, right?
I hate this one. Yeah, with the except, I think the explosion in Oppenheimer, I think, was the biggest. I think that they had done in cinema. I think I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. But yes, Michael Bay.
Oppenheimer wasn't Michael Bay.
No, that was Quentin Tarantino. But
yeah, no, he's just saying that it set the record.
Specific, as a whole, like that's the biggest one, I think.
Samantha says, so HD DVD versus Blu-ray was kind of like PS2 versus Xbox. One was better, but the other sold better. Was one better? I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
the HD
DVD didn't. It basically threw in the towel pretty quick. And I remember going to Fry's Electronics and seeing shopping carts full of HD DVDs for $3.99 way back in the day. And this wasn't too long. I mean, it was. I don't even think it lasted a year, to be honest.
No, it lasted about a year. Yeah.
And then it was done.
Meatball Saucy says HD DVD was a fail. Sony or Microsoft. We know who all. We all know who won. Me.
Yeah. Interesting though. Interesting.
Saying Spirits, if Microsoft included it as the 360 drive, it would have been more competitive.
Yeah, you would have had more adopters, right? It would have been in everybody's home, and it would have been a viable alternative. And then it would have been interesting to see, what would actually ultimately have won. I did know people who bought PlayStations specifically because they had Blu-ray capability, and so there were people who bought them as well. It was a good value add to like talk to your significant other into like, we should spend money on this. I mean, it plays Blu-rays. You love watching movies, and it also does this game thing. Don't worry about it.
It comes with Talladega Nights for free too.
Right?
So
Yeah.
You're all set.
No, I know. I know people who pulled that trick.
Samantha says, any recommendations for the Steam Winter Sale?
Oh, I haven't even looked yet.
I haven't looked yet.
Samantha,
I'm guessing it's the same thing that we had just a couple months ago, thow, in fall, right? Dishonored 2 is still cheap.
Sam, I was just thinking, scan that QR code. You can join the Discord, and we've been posting some of the links for good stuff on sale right now. So join the Discord, and we can help you out there.
I think Batman Origins is $1.99. I think right now. I think
that's
it's
a good one.
90% off.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Saiyan Spirits first Bay Transformers was excellent. The rest were trash. Dark Moon was okay, and Bumblebee was excellent. You're gonna get Dathan triggered here. I remember going to see one of the Transformers movies, and I fell asleep in it. So sorry, Dathan.
So speaking of that producer, right? Isn't Ghosts of Tsushima by that director?
Hideo Kojima?
Tsushima? Yeah.
Hideo Kojima.
Is it not?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay, because that one is on sale on the Steam sale.
No, I don't. He doesn't do that one. Who?
Okay.
That's not Team Ninja, is it?
I don't know. It got super great reviews, so I was hoping that you'd played it, Dathan, so you could tell me that it was
I finished
awesome.
it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I just forget. It came. I finished it like during pandemic time. Like
Was it awesome?
Yes, it was very, very good. Very
Okay.
good.
So it is on sale with Steam summer sale or with Steam Christmas sale, holiday sale, $47.99.
Yeah, that's probably a good deal.
Yeah, seems like it.
I
Stop
mean, I think if
spending
you
your
did
money
have
on
the,
stupid
I think
shit.
it's on PlayStation Premium. I think
Uh-huh.
too, also for free. Yeah, it was a fantastic game. It was very good.
Okay. And Assassin's Creed Origins is $6.
That's yeah, that's well worth it. $6.
$6 seems worth it. I had a good time in that, actually. I know that of those RPG Assassin's Creeds, it was the last one I played of those, aside from Valhalla, but it was the best reviewed out of all of them, I think.
Mm-hmm. Origins and Odyssey, I think, were pretty much hand in hand. There's not really a better one between the two. I think they were very well done.
Yeah, I liked Odyssey actually a lot. I did, yeah. And I thought that was kind of an unpopular. I thought that the majority of Assassin's Creed people, though, when I jumped into it, I thought the majority of them didn't like the RPG Assassin's Creed games at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
so
that's
I
what
was
what
like,
they're
yeah.
they're leaning towards now is some sort of RPG element.
I like it. I mean, I like
see what
it.
what the new one is going to be in a couple months. So we'll see how that goes.
If
Yeah,
it comes
agreed.
out.
If it doesn't get delayed again, yeah.
Right.
No, I'm excited. That'll be cool. Maybe, or I'll return it.
Oh, I wanted to play this video from
PS5 Pro is much larger. It has 30 work groups. It's also what I'm calling a hybrid RDNA GPU, which is to say, it combines multiple generations of RDNA technology. The base technology for PS5 Pro is somewhere between RDNA 2 and RDNA 3. I'm calling it RDNA 2.x. As I'll shortly explain, that choice makes it much easier for game developers to port their games to the new console. Ray tracing uses what I'm calling future RDNA technology. It's roadmap RDNA that's well past the feature set today. It's showing up here first. And machine learning is custom, or to be more specific, it's custom enhancements to RDNA. We supply over 1 gigabyte of extra memory to the games, and we...
Well, Dana Carvey on Saturday Night Live needs to do an impersonation of this guy.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I can't even understand what he's saying, but
Yeah,
Oh.
to me,
he sounds smart.
This is just all jumbled mess that I don't care about at all.
Well, to me, what sounds to me,
absolutely nothing to me.
I didn't listen to
I
it
know.
well, but it sounds interesting because it sounds like he's making an argument that the PlayStation Pro doesn't really need to. Okay, and Sayan can tell me if I was listening right, because I was only half listening to it because I was waiting for something other than the GPU talk to go on.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's basically saying that, like, you don't need to worry much about like the ray tracing stuff, which is actually what AMD is saying too. Because that's future stuff and it's not great right now and it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I thought that he was saying in that brief snippet. But I kind of actually, even my GPU is capable of doing ray tracing, and to be honest, half the time I don't find it all that impressive. So I don't actually disagree with it.
This is basically just this guy coming up here and trying to sell me a blue pen, a ballpoint pen over a black ballpoint pen.
Yeah,
or the ink color on it. I was like, I don't care. This means nothing.
Well, for me, it's like it's all about the games. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Exactly.
weird.
Now-
Exactly.
They
if
want to
the
pump the
RDNA
hardware.
shit makes it,
Who
makes it-
cares?
Yeah.
so be
Now,
it. You know.
now for the ray tracing argument
cares?
though, Cyberpunk with ray tracing on does actually look really good. But most of the games that I turn it on in, I don't see much of a difference because it's not implemented as well. But of course, with Cyberpunk, if you turn it on, good luck unless you have a top-end system. Like it is that much of a resource hog.
Anyway. All right. I think that was
But yeah,
my last
it was
issue
kind
I
of an
had.
interesting snip that you grabbed. I'll have to try to see what he was saying.
Oh, I it was just kind of weird this week that we had Satya Nadella talking, and then I had him talking. It was just
Yeah.
Why
kind
is he talking? The PS5 Pro's been out for
I know, that's what I
a
thought
month
was
now.
weird.
Like, you want to sell that, you do it ahead of time. I guess they're trying to get Christmas presents sold or whatever. But I mean, it means nothing.
They're really proud of the fact that he was saying the snippet I watched that they've been designing this console for 4 years, and when the PlayStation 5 launched, that was when they started working on the PlayStation 5 Pro, and they're very proud of it. They're very proud that they're working with is it Nvidia or who's that other one of those chip I can't talk. Manufacturers.
Right.
And that they're doing some advanced stuff there. So,
well, I hope they are. I mean, I love it when people can get awesome experiences at home. I mean,
hopefully they can get Indiana Jones optimized for you.
So was the PlayStation 5, when you guys got the PlayStation 5 and you fired it up, did it feel like a graphical generation jump ahead of the PS4? Like, were you floored by it?
Some instances, yes, it did.
Only in some, though.
In some, yes.
Okay.
I think the controller did for sure.
Yeah, the controller, when you fired up that controller for the first time, and
AMD,
it was it was pretty awesome. And when you were talking about like the graphic enhancements over the PS4, like Ghost of Tsushima is a good example. That game played absolutely beautiful.
Cool.
On the PS5.
Okay. So you would get it and you'd be like, that's why I spent the money and that's why I waited the 5 years. Like it felt that big of a jump. Perfect.
Yeah, but if I played Spider-Man on the PS4 and the PS5, there would be very subtle differences between the two versions that it wouldn't be like, well, I mean, it's not that much of a difference.
Gotcha. But that's probably down to the developer not spending a bunch of money on enhancing the game for the PS5 market when they're also going to compete in both. Yeah.
Cerny admitted that their AI isn't perfect and still bottlenecked, but will evolve, and the LLMs that are being built will improve, and basically a beta for PlayStation 6.
Yeah, the machine learning aspect of upscaling and stuff is definitely where everybody's going, especially as GPUs get way more power, hungry. And for the first time ever that I've been alive, people actually care about like, I want great performance, but I also don't want to use a lot of power. Like green gaming is now a thing. That was never a thought 10 years ago. It was like, okay, this is more watts, more power, better, right? Now you're starting to see like, well, what's the return on my investment and how much does it cost to run my gaming system for 5 hours, right? So you're starting to see that concern. So I think that when it comes to the AI technology of being able to intelligently upscale and do frame insertion and frame generation, that's gonna help with that stuff. And so, yeah, that's I think where obviously a lot of the things are going to move.
Jesus Christ, my God.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep throwing power at it. I don't care.
Exactly.
More watts, the better.
Dathan went and saw Sonic 3, so I want to talk about Sonic 3 here. I have not seen it yet. I'm thinking Travis has not seen it yet.
I haven't seen the first one. It's got Jim Carrey in it. I checked out.
Holy catfish!
Yeah.
He has not seen it yet. But
No.
all right, Dathan, have you seen it? What's your verdict?
I liked it a lot. It was done very well. I give it a 8.5 out of 10. I know that Keanu Reeves plays Shadow. That's kind of the new big, the it person. But I think that Idris Elba as Knuckles takes over the movie. I think he did a very good job with everything. I think he was kind of the star of the movie. But it was done very, very well. It flowed very well. There are two end credit scenes, one mid and one end, both very important for the future of the Sonic franchise because they just announced Sonic 4 for 2027. But I highly recommend going to watch it. It's very good.
Meatball Saucy says, I didn't see the new one, but I will.
Well, I hope so. I enjoyed it.
Good. The movie series is
movie?
good. I was telling Dathan earlier before the show, I think Sonic the Hedgehog 1 for me was a better movie than the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Wait,
is that
one from the 90s?
No, not the one from the 90s. That one's terrible.
I was gonna say I thought okay, so that's setting the bar real low.
Yeah.
The one that came out in like 2023. Is that when Mario came out? 2023? 2022?
I had no idea it came out.
Yeah. I think it was 2023.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
No, it was 2022.
Was it?
It says 2023.
Oh, it was 2023. I thought it was 2022.
With Chris Pratt. Oh, so it was an animated film, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I really like that Sonic 1 movie. The Sonic 2 movie was a disappointment for me. I thought they did a lot of the same jokes, and it didn't really feel like a good story to me. Yeah. But if Dathan's saying 3 is good, is it Dathan the best Sonic movie in your opinion?
Yes, I think it's better than the first one and the second one.
Okay.
So if you remember the controversy when they had first leaked out the preview or whatnot of the way that they had decided to animate Sonic,
of course,
if they had gone with the original one, would that make the movie any worse? Would that have messed with it enough?
I don't think it would. They would have got past the first one. I think they would have made one.
Yeah.
And that
okay. So that movie being as good as it was, because I've heard one was good, would have been a lesser film because you couldn't get over the way Sonic looked.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
I think the backlash that they got, that Sega and the
so overwhelming
that they got, that when they retooled everything, how long they delayed it by what, 8-9 months?
Yeah.
I think that was probably the smartest decision that they could have made.
I just thought it was hilarious at the time because I remembered the Super Mario Brothers 90s movie. And I remembered how bad that was. I didn't see it, but just hearing about it, right? And how awful it was. I was just when the reaction came out where people were like, you need to fix Sonic, you need to fix it. This looks awful. I was like, it doesn't matter. Have none of you seen what they do with video game movies? You should just tell them not to make the movie and just be done with it. So that's cool that it actually turned out well. That's cool.
Say in Spirits, that's his favorite movie.
Yeah,
I guess the original Mario
I'm sorry.
movie.
I haven't seen it. Maybe it's really good.
Spoiler alert, it's not.
It's not. Is it if you put Mortal Kombat in a fight with the original Super Mario Brothers movie, which one is a better film?
Oh, I'm taking the OG Mortal Kombat, the 1995.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
How about Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme versus all three?
Oh man.
I think Street Fighter has a couple scenes I really like, but I would still give it to Mortal Kombat in that respect. I think that Mario movie, that original Mario movie, for me, it's on par with the He-Man movie from the 80s. It's just
yeah,
I don't know. I would probably give the edge between the Street Fighter and the Mario, probably the Mario, just a little.
As worst movie.
As better. Like
I was better.
I would put like Street Fighter. Like, I mean, we're talking that was absolutely terrible. That was
Yeah, you've got to. Have you read the stories like about the making of that film?
well. There was one. The guy that played Guile was at PRGE this year.
Oh
He
yeah,
he had
What?
a booth set up. You didn't see him?
No.
So he had a booth set up, and I went on his because I wanted to get to know a little bit more about him, and I went on his Instagram and stuff like that, and there was like one.
I thought he was that seller you told us not to go by their table, so I didn't
No,
go
that's
by
not,
his table.
Every PRGE or swap meet that we go to, I will point out that vendor and say, "Hey, just keep on keeping on." So
stay away from this guy.
yeah.
Meatball says Street Fighter is and always will be hyperod.
Man,
Horrid.
I'm looking
Oh, that's
on
what he meant to say,
IMDb to
horrid.
find out who played Guile, and it doesn't have it listed. Where is he at?
He's maybe he's not mentioned in the credits.
He was there.
Apparently
If you go to PRG, you can look at the guest.
Oh,
list.
there, Guile's date. It says. So funny.
He'll pop up. But when Ryan, you brought up the last year the Mario movie that came out. Obviously they're doing a sequel because Mario 2 is coming out in 2026, I think.
Oh, there he is. Wait, no, Guile was Jean-Claude Van Damme according to this.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe it wasn't Guile. Let me see who it was.
Okay.
Let me go to PRG.
Because if it was Jean-Claude Van Damme and you missed the opportunity to talk to him.
That was embarrassing.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't him. It's celebrities and speakers.
Well, and it blew my mind like 6 months ago. Like I didn't realize that the actress that played Sonya Blade in the video games is different than the one that was in Mortal Kombat 3. So it's like,
oh,
some of these people, like it's hard to keep track of.
His name is it says Street Fighter live action. His name is Jeff Libengood.
Jeff Libengood.
Yeah.
Libben.
Liben good.
Man, without Chris here, it's hard being keyboard warrior.
Right?
We can get into our VHS porno collection, you know.
It doesn't. He doesn't. Jeff Liven.
Lib.
Oh, Lib.
Liben. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say he's a stunt guy. Yeah, no, he's not listed in IMDb at all.
That's crazy because it says most notable his time with Capcom as the first live action Guile.
Huh.
What? Maybe he was this the
like
video
game
live action Street Fighter?
Oh, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't say
because they did make they made a Street Fighter movie video game.
Yeah, he's a fitness guy. It looks like, and he was.
If you're in the chat, let us know. I
don't know. I don't want to talk about the movie anymore. It's terrible. Let's just move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Ryan, you were mentioning the Mario, and the sequel comes out in next or 2026.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They're doing the same people are doing the Zelda movie that's coming out in the near future. They're doing the same studios and everything. They're doing the same.
Yeah. Zelda?
Yep, we're doing a Zelda movie.
Has Nintendo? Well, they obviously have if they allowed for Super Mario Brothers then. So yeah, I'm surprised it took this long to make a Zelda film.
Yeah. So I think it's definitely the success of the Mario movie that came out to them to push it over the top. Now,
Guile, that actor, I did find it because Chris is in here. R.I.P. Chris. He was the actor that was in the Turbo version of Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition.
Oh, well, that's pretty random.
He was
the video game?
Isn't that random?
The video game, not movie?
Not movie.
It literally says live action.
Yeah, apparently, according to his site and actually another convention he was at, that's what he's credited for.
Oh.
So I'm guessing nobody was at his table.
No, it was a walk by.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one was there, type thing.
It's probably the digitized Guile from the game movie. Saiyan Spirit says.
Yeah, that's
Probably,
probably it.
you're probably
Yeah, Meatball. Yeah, there is no mocap for Street Fighter until they did the movie game. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Like,
Yeah,
it's all
interesting.
sprites.
Yeah. Well, interesting,
Yes.
so to speak.
What is going on up here?
I never know, man.
Yeah.
But now Mortal Kombat Annihilation, you can skip that one also. That one was
Skip the movie.
Yes, that was pretty
Were
good.
any of them actually good?
The first one was good. I liked
The first one was good.
Yes, I enjoyed the first one.
Okay, because it had Bridget Nielsen in it, right?
Mm-hmm. Played Sonya.
Yeah, she has monstrously huge feet. And you can check me on that. So somebody told me that. Yep. So somebody who knew her personally told me that. And because I was joking that I crush on her when she's in Billy Madison, and she said, "Oh yeah, she's got monstrously huge feet."
You're right. That is the
Billy
same
Madison,
actress.
the teacher, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And so I told her
Okay.
it's when I worked at Hollywood. I told her, I said, "Hey, I got a crush on this lady," and she said, "I know her," and I said, "Well, we're best friends." And then she said, "She's got monstrously huge feet." And I said, "No, she doesn't." And she said, "No, she really does." Then years later, she was on, I believe, Conan O'Brien on an interview, and she talked about how she has to have custom shoes made for her because she has monstrously huge feet.
The dream is dead.
Yeah, because I think because they had all the motion caption people at PRGE this past year for
That's why he was there. And then to kind of demo and talk.
Yeah, because like and we'll touch on something real quick that Ryan posted on Discord. Yeah, because they have the guy that played Raiden and Johnny Cage and all those guys that play the characters. But Ryan posted on Discord today that Tony Hawk is actually going to his very first gaming expo, or his very first convention period. At Game On down in Phoenix in April. Which was,
how much did they pay him for that?
I don't know. That's
think really cool though.
I think he lives in the Phoenix area, or he's in
does
Southern
too.
California.
I thought he lived in Southern California.
Maybe it is Southern California. He doesn't have too far to go.
He's probably got multiple homes.
Yeah,
But
I assume.
With that
that's big,
that video game money.
That's a big guest pickup for that convention.
Well,
Yeah,
if he's in chat, he can let us know.
Do a kip flip. Did you guys play the Tony Hawk games?
Very little.
Oh,
if any at all. I never really could do them.
Is dead.
wow! You guys just broke my heart.
Sorry. I played Town and Country, right? Wasn't that the surf and the skate one?
Yeah, when Skate or Die.
Yeah, did you ever play Skate or Die?
Uh-huh.
Everyone played Skate or Die. Yeah.
Of course.
Skate or Die 1 was terrible, but Skate or Die 2 was where it was at. With the
I played
the
I
half
played
pipe
both. Yeah.
It was good.
But yeah, you've been to Game On Expo, right? So, if they get another good guest or two, dang, I was like, maybe I should head down there.
Yeah,
It's a good convention. They're having it in April now, which isn't better than August, because when Eric and I went, it was 110. So that was kind of a...
Is your favorite vendor going to be there?
I don't know if he was there last time. No, he wasn't. But he was at the last two PRGEs. I know that for sure. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, I love TNC Surf. So few fans today.
Yeah.
Those were good games back in the day.
I remember that game. Everybody had it. Like I'd go over to their house because again, I didn't have a Nintendo, and I'd go over there, and then everybody'd be crowded around the TV, taking turns at that TNC Surf game. So I'd try. Not very good.
There's always the few games that it seemed like every household always had. Obviously, Mario, Duck Hunt. Another one was either DuckTales or Rescue Rangers. It was one of those two.
Oh, I had DuckTales for sure. I still
and
do.
then Punch Out. Punch Out was one that was always popular. And
I
Rad
didn't
Race.
Yeah.
And some of the black box games too, like Kung Fu or pinball, stuff like that. Those were always seemed to be pretty common in people's houses.
I was going to ask you guys, since Christmas is next week, I think you guys celebrate Christmas. Do you have any Christmas video game memories that you're fond of? Or
Yeah,
maybe you don't.
my parents got me a computer when I was in the 5th grade, 4th grade, and I remember playing the Sierra. They got me a computer with a couple Sierra classics,
Nice.
and so I remember playing those games, and then wondering why my computer wasn't as powerful as a Nintendo. Because really, I wanted a Nintendo.
Oh yeah, I love those Sierra games.
Looking back on it, I'm kind of surprised that they got me games, because the whole reason they wouldn't let me get a console was because, one, they were afraid of it ruining the TV, and then two, they said I should just go outside and play.
Sure.
So they were of that mindset, right? And so like, I am kind of surprised that the reason why they got the computer was because it would help me with my homework, and it was going to help me get into college, all of these things. And then but then I guess looking back on it, I guess I'm surprised that they did just get me a couple games, because they noticed that when I was at the stores, that's what I'd gravitate to, was going and picking up game boxes and looking at them and wondering what life was like on the other side.
Saying Spirit says Santa brought me the Sega Genesis.
Oh, there you go.
I remember getting the Nintendo from, I don't know if it was Santa or my parents, but I remember pretty vividly. It was either 1989 or 1990, and getting that, and yeah, good times ahead. I think my Sega Genesis, I saved up money and I bought it. I remember buying it. It was like $100, and I remember I totally researched it. Like I got the one that had Sonic 2, and then I bought a copy of Sonic 1, then I eventually bought Sonic 3, so I had I wanted to get all three of them. But there was more games than Sonic, but yeah, I had Nintendo and Sega, but I had a PC first. I felt like my dad, he was really into PC for sure back in the late 80s, and he was like one of the first people that I knew even had a PC.
Yeah, it wasn't super common back then.
Yeah. Like I remember at school, like the schools would have Apple IIs, Apple IIes, but like then, at home we'd have an IBM. I don't know if it was a 286 or I don't know what exactly it was, but it was. I feel like it was ahead of his time, and then playing some of those point and click stuff, and doing other stuff with, like, you get a printer with Print Shop and be able to print those big banners.
Yep.
And do stuff with that. Drawing programs, having a word processor.
Yep.
Huge.
Programming in BASIC. That's where I started doing my quote-unquote engineering.
Meatball Saucy says, I have one. I wanted the Super Nintendo Super Empire Strikes Back. I got sick 2 weeks before Christmas. I'm assuming your parents told me to go get my medicine from her closet, and I found the game. I used a blade to open it, and I beat it. Oh, no. Oh, my. That's good. I love Super Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
It's a hard game.
It's a very hard game.
It's not easy.
But now you can play. I have Super Empire Strikes Back on my iPhone. So
the one gift Christmas that I remember is not related to video games, but back when I was years before that, I wanted all the Star Wars action figures, right? Like, that was just like any kid. I was like, oh, I want Star Wars action figures.
Yeah.
My parents actually created a trail of the Star Wars action figures all lined up, just head to toe, like in their box, or in their wrapper, from my door all the way to the Christmas tree. and then just a big old pile of them, like around the Christmas tree and all
Like,
that stuff.
out of the box, they opened them up?
No,
and
they
everything?
were still in the package.
Oh, okay.
So, but they just laid them out so that when I opened my door, there's an action figure, and then you just one after the other pick them up. Oh, this one. Oh, this one. Oh, this one.
Cool.
All the way out. And so it was enough to fill up the foldable Darth Vader
Oh,
case
yeah.
that you could
I
keep
remember
them in,
that.
right? Yeah. So it was like enough to fill that up. So it was a lot of them. And I think they also got me the Jabba the Hutt like cantina set, like the guys that play the band as well as Jabba the Hutt with the little guy that is sitting there feeding them frogs or whatever.
Do you still have your figures?
No, not at all. No idea where they went. They were in the attic of my parents' house, and no idea.
Wow.
But they were all, man, I played with those. I did not even, the idea of keeping them in a box or in any good condition, they were just, they were beat up.
Yeah, Meatball Saucy, you were a bad boy. Did you have Greedo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I had, I also had the Rancor monster.
Oh, that's cool. The original? Wow.
Yeah. Where he had a little thingy on the back that would move his jaw. And then when the rubber band broke, you had to figure out a way to get in there and put it back, like loop it back up. The one that I didn't have that I saw was a meme the other day was the Star Wars action figure with the guy that is in Star Wars, I think, or in Empire Strikes Back that has the little like odd computerized headphone that goes around. Yeah, that's right. Nobody likes getting MODOK for Christmas. I did not have him.
He was a peg warmer.
My dad was good at, because I'm guessing he's the one who bought him. He was good at getting me the ones that looked unique, but didn't know the movies well. Even though I watched them with me, he didn't know it. Yeah. But he did. He did do that, and then he also got me a subscription to Bantam Tracks, I think is what it was called, the fanzine.
Huh.
And then years later, I was in high school class, and I was making fun of Bantam Tracks, and then or somebody mentioned it, and then I went home and I pulled it out, and sure enough, one of the guys in my Spanish class in high school, age 6, had his drawing of Yoda that said, "Away put my weapon, I mean you no harm," in Bantam Tracks, like he won. So I saw that, and then I went back to high school, and I sat by him that day, and I said, "Away put your weapon, I mean you no harm." And he flipped around, he's like, "How'd you know I did that?" I was like, "Yeah, just you wait till everybody in this high school finds out that you, age 6, did this."
I remember in kindergarten or first grade, a kid brought the entire Return of the Jedi Ewok Village playset.
Yeah,
and that looks so cool because like like nets that fall on people. Like they need to they don't do play sets like that anymore.
No, and like I shared with you guys, the little diecast ones too. My parents got me those randomly. Yeah, those were cool. They were I don't know why I enjoyed playing with those ones so much. Maybe because they were small and they were just there. But they were cool because I remember my parents got me the trash compactor set that went along with that.
Cool.
So great little scenes.
Yeah.
Right. And I thought those were cool. I forgot totally that those existed until you guys were talking about something that reminded me of it. And I was like, oh, that's right. I wonder where those even went.
Saiyan Spirits wants to know, did you have the Slave Leia?
I did not. Although that's surprising that my dad didn't get me that.
I don't know what
just
that's
being
saying.
honest. But well, just he was of that era, female in a skimpy outfit. I'm gonna get it for my kid.
I will say somewhere in my attic, saying I do have Star Wars the Vintage Collection version of Slave Leia carded somewhere up there. So she's still up there from, I don't know when that came out, 2011 or something like that, 2012. Might be worth something now. Yeah, the Ewok Village was so cool.
I had the one sheets as well. My dad bought me the one sheets and had them framed, and they were in my bedroom, like of Star Wars Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Jedi, not Return of the Jedi.
Right.
Although that's not true. He got me Return of the Jedi, the Star Wars one sheet that he got me, he specifically went and found because it said coming soon to a theater, Revenge of the Jedi. So it was when they did the re-release of Star Wars in advance of Return of the Jedi coming out in a couple of years or in a year or whatever. And then I guess George Lucas said that title didn't sound right, so it didn't sit well with him. So they renamed it to Return.
And then later on, they did a Revenge of the Sith,
right?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense to what he was complaining about, right? Like he was kind of like, well, Jedis shouldn't be getting revenge, but Sith, they're jerks. They can. That's the idea.
Apparently,
I have
there's
no
a
idea where
new
those are
Star
either.
Wars show we maybe should be watching. I'm not. Chris would know.
Yeah, it's not the Andor sequel. That's not out yet, right?
That's not out yet. There's some other one
not
right
yet.
now. There's some other one.
The Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I still need to watch. I've only watched one episode of the Dune show.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
I
forgot
said-
that came out. I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. The first episode wasn't as good as I had kind of hoped it would be.
Oh, that's right. Skeleton
But-
Crew is like a Goonies Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
So here's
It's
another
not as-
here's another hot opinion. I thought that the Star Wars Phantom Menace was an okay movie when we initially saw it.
I thought it was kind of too. Man, we were so starved for Star Wars in 1999. Like, it didn't matter.
Well, and what
And I
was
know
telling-
Eric camped out for it. So
Yeah, I
he
was with
definitely-
them. I watched it with them. And when people were complaining about it, I didn't camp out. I showed up right before it was time to go see it.
I didn't camp out, but I stood in line at midnight when the toys were released at Toys R Us, and
Well,
that
that was
was
smart, though.
awesome.
Yeah, that was smart. And then because those would be worth something, you would assume.
And that came out before the movie.
Right.
I think actually they're probably not worth anything. I don't know.
My thing with
They're
the
not.
Phantom,
Yeah.
now they're not because they're produced too much. I mean, that's the thing, right? When everybody thinks it's going to be worth something, that's when you're in trouble.
Right.
But yeah, I thought it was a fine movie when we saw it because I thought when we're watching it, now granted, it was like, what time was that? Midnight or 2 a.m. or something that we finally got in. I just thought that it felt like you were watching a Star Wars movie. Like when the credits came up, when the opening scene happened, when you were in the universe of Star Wars watching it, I felt like that same sense of like wonderment and awe that I felt when I was a kid watching Star Wars. So I think that the problem with those movies is that people review them as adults watching a kid's movie, as opposed to when they were a kid watching a kid's movie.
Yeah, and I think George Lucas has said that he originally intended Star Wars to be a kid's movie.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious it is.
People were upset about R2-D2 and C-3PO being in the original Star Wars.
I bet.
And
I totally bet that they were.
yeah, and then they were, they were livid about Jar Jar, but I think the reason why Jar Jar is in that is just because it's like it's
fodder
similar
for the
to
children.
Yeah, right.
It's groundlings material. Now, did I think that was stupid? Yeah, but I actually thought the kid was way more annoying than Jar Jar in a way. Like the kid himself was annoying to me. But
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that people don't like the movies, and that's fine. I just think it's funny that like how critical I am of everything else, that just kind of gets a pass. I'm like, what do you expect? It's a kids' movie. It's fine.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
I think that's the only Star Wars bite I have. Except for
Yeah.
maybe the
The
Wilhelm
second
scream.
one, the Clone Wars one, though, I thought was quite boring. Like that one,
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
was just that one. I thought was boring. And then the third one, I thought was just fine. Like the third of that trilogy, I thought was fine.
Yeah, for me, that prequel trilogy,
Yeah.
much better than the last trilogy. Just
Oh wow! I wouldn't expect somebody
Way-
to say that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
episode 7 was okay, but then 8 I hated. and 9 I really hated. I know a lot of people really don't like 8. I hate 9.
Okay.
I refuse to watch it again.
So you guys like Star Trek as well, right?
I am much more a Star Trek fan than Star Wars.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I'm not a Star Trek fan in the slightest, so I don't know anything about them. But somebody said there was this little meme going around that Star Trek fans realize that their movies are, I forget what it is. Eric would know because he's the one who shared it, I think. But that there are more, like, Star Trek fans don't hate half their catalog of movies.
No.
But I asked Eric, is that true or not? And when Eric looked at the actual amount of movies, it looked like it was almost a tie for good Star Trek movies versus bad, and good Star Wars movies and bad.
That'd be interesting to go through. The Star Trek movies, when they came out originally, the odd ones were, everyone said those were the bad ones, and the even number movies were the good ones. Now
so that's 50-50, right?
Yeah. But I appreciate some of the odd ones, like
okay.
Star Trek the Motion Picture. Like, it's got its flaws and it's way too long, but directed by Robert Wise, who also did Sound of Music. There's some amazing shots in there.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've come to really appreciate that movie. I love Star Trek 3. Star Trek 5, directed by William Shatner. Terrible story, but I really like that movie. So,
well, take a look at it and then talk about it sometime, because I'm curious what that is, and then take a look at the Star Wars canon and see what you think if you were to honestly review them.
It's different because Star Trek, I consider it more of a TV show, and there's I don't know, 700, 800 episodes out there. And the latest Star Trek hasn't been up to par from when
but we have to only think about movies, because this was a movies only sort of thing.
Because I think for sure Star Trek TV wise is way better than Star Wars TV wise, for sure, for me.
Okay.
I
like that. I like that little back and forth of Star Trek versus Star Wars fans, though. I think it's funny.
Oh yeah, and we're like the same people, but Star Wars is more fantasy.
Yeah.
Star Trek, I mean, it's still fantasy. I don't know. It's science fiction.
Here's why I hate Star Trek. When I was in elementary school.
Christ.
Yeah. Here you go. Here's why I hate it. When I was in elementary school, one of my good friends, his parents were both of them were psychologists. Okay, so mom and dad psychologists. If I stayed at his house on a Saturday, because that's what you like to do when your friend has a Commodore 64 and you want to go hang out and play that, every night that Star Trek came on, everybody had to shut off all of the lights, everything but the TV, and we had to sit and watch Star Trek as a family. And then afterwards, we had to talk about its implications and what we learned from each episode that we watched.
That's amazing. You didn't like that?
No, it sucked. No, because I just want to play the stupid Commodore 64 game. That way, because then you also had to go to bed. You also had to go to bed at 10 or 9:30 or whatever their lights out time was.
That's amazing.
And there was no sugar allowed in the house.
So you would have, like, you guys remember the old G.I. Joe PSAs, right?
Yeah. It was like that, dude. But it was, but they were psychologists, so it was like an hour long of discussion. And if we tried to get out of it to get back and play Wasteland on the Commodore, they knew what we were up to, and so we really had to think about what we learned. So I'm sitting there trying to be like, okay, some stupid tribbles were on a ship and they just multiply, and it caused problems. Can I go now? And they're like, no. That's too superficial. I need you to think about what's happened in your life, and can you tell us a story about this? No, these weren't my parents. These were my friend's parents.
Oh, your friend's parents.
Yeah, and that was a short-lived friendship because of that. It's too traumatic.
No, I think Star Trek inspired a lot of people to become scientists, astronauts, engineers.
People who torture children who just want to play Commodore 64 games.
Seeing a lot of women, giving them empowerment that you know, they didn't normally get them. Star Trek used to talk about war and like kind of subvertly the Vietnam War at the time, or not before that, but
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, the 1960s. So
Yeah.
you know, they talk about racism and stuff that you normally couldn't talk about on television, and they got around it by putting it in a fantasy kind of version. And you know, that's, you know, it
But
was
enough
really
with the metaphors.
groundbreaking.
Just make a real show. Just address the issue head on. That's kind of my thing. But no, I get it. Like I said, I tell that to people because they're like, "Man, you really hate Star Trek," and I'm like, I don't know if I hate Star Trek or if I hate Star Trek people. I can't tell, but this is what happened. And then half the people that I tell that story to, they're like, "Oh, geez, I would hate the show too." And then a few of them are like you though, where they're like, "Oh man, that would have been awesome." I'm like, no, take yourself back to the 4th grade or 5th grade, whatever it was, and put yourself in those shoes. You wouldn't think it was awesome.
Now, like today, like I don't know if I can get my son to watch Star Trek at all. So it's like,
it's pretty slow, right? Like it's
Yeah.
probably too slow for modern, you know, with what we're used to seeing entertainment wise. So anyway,
where's my ugly thing to say soundbite?
yeah, I know.
What an
it's there.
ugly thing to say.
Anyway.
Yep.
Now, I am a Star Trek fan. I know Dathan is the Transformers guy. I definitely probably was originally Star Trek. Like, I love. I won in 2005. I won a Star Trek trivia contest in Portland.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm pretty damn proud of that. And
yeah, I should have had you at that place to tap out. You could have distracted him, and I could have gone back to playing Wasteland.
It was a Star Trek convention, but like I wasn't dressed up as a Trekkie. Like I had a backwards hat on, and I think that's why they called me up to be on the stage.
They thought you'd lose.
Yeah, I know. And then, but the Trekkies there would ask you questions of like trying to stump me, and like, you know, I've watched every episode multiple times. I got a lot of ones on the Next Generation, and there was some on the original series or whatever. I got every single freaking one of them.
That's
and
cool.
You know, so I won like $50 and an autographed photo of William Shatner and Ricardo Montalban from the original show. So I've still got it somewhere. But anyway, that's my Star Trek thing.
Fair enough.
You know, I need to get a phaser thing or something. We don't talk about Star Trek enough. We talk more about Transformers and probably Star Wars.
Well, there's a reason why we don't talk about Star Trek, because it's boring.
Okay, so Dathan's in the same with me.
Who cares?
So you would have thought that slumber party sucked too, then.
Oh, I would have called my parents to pick me up at that point.
Yeah, I know. In hindsight, man. And there was no sugar either. They were like, so when you're a kid, you're like, okay, well, it's TV show time, like, or movie time or whatever, because they're like 2 hours. And it's like, so what are we gonna have? And they're like, here's popcorn with no butter or salt. It's air popped. Because they had a little air popper because that was all the trend. And then you're like, are you kidding me? So here's the good.
They're probably healthy.
You get this though. So that kid, you remember how we used to have to sell candy bars for fundraisers?
Yes.
Yeah.
That kid sold a record amount of candy bars until the collection came due. He ate them all.
Meatball, it's Trekkie. It's not Trekker.
I'm not even joking. He was like a crack fiend. He ate all the candy bars when his parents weren't there, and they had
as long as you put $1 in the jar, you're okay.
But he didn't, because he didn't have any money. Yeah, he's in like
stealing.
5th grade, right?
That's stealing from yourself.
Yeah. So we went back to the school and he turned in all the stuff, and they were like, "So you checked out like 8 boxes of candy bars. Where are they all? You know, where's the money?" And he's like, "What do you mean the money? I have it at home." And so they called the parents and they're like, he owes like, $100 or whatever it was, right? $80 in candy bars. And he just started crying, I guess, and was like, I ate them all. And that's what happens, man. You deprive the kid of the sugar.
I remember
He's gonna
selling
try
candy
one.
bars. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, as long as you put money in the jar. But I remember in Boy Scouts, I went door to door selling light bulbs. And everyone, you don't need a candy bar, but back in the day, I think still today, everyone needs light bulbs at their house, and you know,
You're almost doing a service at that point, right? Especially back
exactly.
then, right?
You know, going up, and I was brave and went up. Now I want to go to summer camp, man. So buy some light bulbs. Everyone needs some light bulbs. Today they just sit outside the grocery store and sell cookies like Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
Maybe that make more money doing that now. I don't know. They probably do.
There's not enough saying. It's, you know, the health insurance expires after 30 sessions.
This is definitely good therapy. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I find it interesting.
I appreciate you guys being here.
I've gone back to try to watch some of those movies. So you'll have to queue up some stuff for me, Ryan, that you think that as a non-fan I should be like required viewing to win me over. Not now. Think about it.
Okay.
I'm curious. And then I'll entertain it. I'll watch some of it.
You got some interesting tastes though. So yeah.
I will not entertain it. You put it in front of me, I'm gonna be like, no.
No,
I'm not watching
Well,
this.
I've tried this little cat and mouse game once before. They told me to watch something with the Borgs in it, because they're like, oh, this is more action based. You're gonna find it, and it's got some horror elements. You like aliens, so you're gonna like this. And it just wasn't interesting. I don't think it was. It was kind of like
the movie.
I think it was the movie, and
it's
I was
probably
like,
Star Trek First Contact.
Yeah, and I was like, what this is doing, Alien or whatever it was.
I may have seen that movie with Eric in the theater.
Yeah.
When we were 16.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I have unpredictable taste, but I'll tell you, most people will agree that if I tell you something is really good, because I'm telling you personally it's really good, there's a good chance that you're gonna really like it. So like I have friends who are like, oh, well, if you said it's good, I'm gonna go watch it tomorrow, like that sort of thing. But then I'll often tell them like, no, not good for you. You don't like this kind of thing, you know.
As long as Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
Okay, so it was First Contact. Love that movie. Okay, so maybe it was First Contact. Yeah.
Yeah, First Contact's good because you got a horror element, but there's funny stuff in it. Directed by Jonathan Frakes, who was on the show. So anyway, I think I'm losing interest in Dathan.
Fair enough.
No.
Stop spending your money on stupid shit.
Maybe we'll end the show there. Thanks for being a part of everything tonight, guys. Saying Spirits, Meatball Saucy, you've been there the whole time. I appreciate you guys. I hope everyone has a good Christmas.
Christmas is on Wednesday. Have a good time.
It's Wednesday, right? Okay.
Or Dathan's got to work on Christmas.
Is what it is.
Oh man.
Yeah. Time and a half.
Jesus Christ!
Did they do anything for you?
They have to. It's a federal holiday.
If I wasn't getting overtime, I would have the day off probably.
So stupid. I hate this one.
But
wow.
Nah, it's okay.
Jesus Christ! My God.
I'll have to look, but do we have NFL games on Christmas? We do, right?
I know we have NBA.
There are
two NBA. That's right.
And they're on Netflix. And there are 2 NFL games on tomorrow with the 3 college football games.
Oh no! Seriously, on Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're right. And it's the Ravens. It's Steelers Ravens.
Yeah, it's like I forget.
Why would they put out NFL games tomorrow?
Because
Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tomorrow's college football.
Yeah, the college football games are on the one game's on TNT and then one game is on HBO Max.
As long as I gotta figure out a way to watch it.
Yeah.
I want to watch that Ohio State game tomorrow.
That's the night game on ESPN or ABC.
Okay, so you'll be safe there. But that's a Saturday game. Yeah, Saturday night. Okay.
But yeah, Wednesday, Christmas Day, I think there's 2 games back to back, and I think they start at noon our time.
Yeah.
I think West Coast time.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, no.
Thanks
for. I'm glad I brought it up because I would have been mad that I would have missed the Ravens game. I did not. I thought that we had one more week until they started the Saturday games.
Did you watch? I did watch yesterday. They had I guess they're not out of San Diego anymore. The Chargers versus
I did watch it. Yeah, I won money on that.
the Broncos. The Duck quarterback versus the
Duck
former
quarterbacks. Yep.
That was amazing.
Yeah,
it was a good game too.
I had a 4-leg parlay. Yeah, rarely on a Thursday night good game, right? But yeah, I had a 4-leg parlay on the Chargers taking care of it, and it didn't look. Yeah, I won. It didn't look good for me for a while, but you need in order to get all 4 legs to come true, unless you're under on everything, which I don't do. You need a close game.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah. Oh, that's every weekend thing for me since I don't have fantasy this year.
Okay.
Cheap little $1 parlay bets to win 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one. We should be back next week. We'll probably do like a year in review show next week. I'm not sure if we're gonna do. I know some channels have done award shows and stuff, and I don't know. We're probably not going to do that, but because award shows are always racist, right?
Award shows always racist. Such a racist evening. It's always racist.
So yeah, we won't go there, but we'll talk about something. So anyway, it should be fun. It's probably a slow news week, but I hope everyone has a good holiday next week and good Christmas. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, guys.
And we're out.